Welcome to a Drop Tent Media production.
The Porcupine with Adam Nutter.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Adam Nutter. Hey, how's it going? Come see me do stand-up comedy live. Yay. It's done. December 10th, Ashland Distillery, Morrisville, Pennsylvania, right by Philly. Coming out to that. January 4th, Punchline in Philly. Coming out to that. Other shit, I can't remember off the top of my head. It's not important. Follow me at Tattooed Comic on Twitter, at Adam Nutter on Instagram, and go listen to Cult of Us, my other podcast I do with the great Neil Wood. That's his comedy, no politics involved. All right, enough of me. Let's get into it. Fuck it. Guys, you guys know him. You guys love him. From the Libertarian Review podcast, my man, Tyler Janke.
Right. I'm Figs today because I wanted everybody to be funnier than me, so I just thought I'd default as Figs.
And of course, you know him. You love him from Naturalist Capitalist podcast. My man, Coverdale. What's up, brother bear? What's going on?
Oh, not much. Just, guilt by association more. So I love it.
Yeah, we were talking about that off air. If everybody who doesn't know, you got in trouble for something that you didn't do again. So that's fun.
Yeah, I'm used to it now. Whatever.
It's like you're married.
Yeah. It's good practice for when I get married,
Right.
actually.
It's all
Constantly
gay
getting in trouble.
marriage,
Yeah, constantly getting in trouble for things you're not at fault for. I
Right.
have to do all the fucking time. I had there's like a mark on the door, the bathroom door, and my wife was like, "Did you do this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I kicked the very bottom of the door on purpose as a fuck you." It's always like the worst, dumbest shit ever. Whatever. But yeah, so you got in trouble for the Ryan Dawson thing. Not even, it was just a Telegram, which anybody could go into it, right?
Yeah, it's an open Telegram chat. It's not like but he and Justin O'Donnell didn't exactly get along. Everyone should go watch that, by the way. That was it was interesting. And so then he kind of spurged out in the chat, and I don't know. The thing is, what I've always told people is I don't cancel people for outrage from other people. Like, if I just want to stop associating with someone, I'll stop voluntarily myself. And also, I'll talk to anybody, and I also think people can have reasonable views about something and then completely unreasonable views about something else. So what Ryan said about gays, I actually went out to dinner with my uncle this morning, and my older sister is gay, by the way, but my uncle was kind of saying the same thing in religious terms because he's an ultra religious person. So I don't know, I just don't really care about a lot of this stuff, I don't care what people's personal views are as long as they're not going to hurt other people. So I don't know, I just don't give a fuck.
But Reed, I think, you tell me if I'm wrong here, he was really just calling Justin pejoratives, right? So whether he actually thinks Justin goes the other way or not, and maybe is Justin gay? Maybe that's the.
I don't even know if Justin's gay, actually. So
okay.
Yeah, but that's just that's what we do. Especially if you're in an argument with especially another guy, right? I'm just gonna be like, what's the most hurtful shit I could say to this person? To cut to him, I'm just gonna start yelling out everything. It doesn't mean I even mean it. It's just what you do when you're trying to instigate a fight or instigate a fucking conversation or something like that. So yeah, I feel like he was just going off on him, being like, "This fucking faggot," whatever. But it's just what we do when we're shitting on some guy. It doesn't matter. It's dumb. It is dumb.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, they were tagging Josh, who's supposed to be here, Josh Smith, and the whole fucking
nothing
thing.
to do with it. Just
it was gay adjacent. He covers that. So
he's a Cowboys fan.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
gay
he's
Jason.
definitely in that circle, Venn diagram. Gay Cowboys fan.
Gay Cowboys fan. It doesn't.
Right.
They made up their America's team. That's what I was like to point that out. They're the ones who called themselves that. No one else ever gave them that title. That's a very gay thing to do.
Yeah, that was they used to say, the stadium with the hole in the top. That's so God can watch. I'm like, okay, that's enough to make me go atheist.
Fuck the Cowboys fan. Cowboys fans. All right, Tyler, you know a little bit about the FTX stuff. Now, what Rhea and I are a little not is versus you apparently, but from what I gather from it is this guy, his mother is like a giant Democratic donor, right? Like one of the biggest. and then he starts a cryptocurrency overnight, essentially becomes a massive success, and then he became the second largest Democratic donor behind Soros after this money. Correct? So far, I'm right. Okay, then they took that money. Ukraine bought FTX, correct?
Well, yeah. Back up a little bit. So he was leveraging. Well, first of all, they had their own coin, and then to make this profitable and whatnot, then they were leveraging out investors' money. So if you think you're buying money or crypto off of off an exchange, they hold it. It's like buying stock, and it's held in what they call book form. It's held on their books. You're not the owner; they're the custodian, unless you want to take it off and hold it in a cold wallet. It'd be similar to you buying a Disney shares of Disney and having them issue out that nice little certificate with the mouse and you holding it. That's similar to what people do with crypto, and it's probably the wise thing to do. So they were leveraging people's shares in there or crypto, and then they were sending them out to Alameda, this other company that was doing, So anyway, they were way leveraged. And then with their own coin and all their other shit stuff they had going on. And then, yes, Ukraine was buying, I don't know what they were buying specifically, if they were getting crypto or whatever they were doing. They're dumping millions of dollars into FTX, which where's Ukraine getting that money? We know that. I mean, that's the circle in.
Right.
And then FTX was, as you said, contributing to the Democrats all around, doing all their kind of stupid stuff. And then, there just it's a big circle, as we saw.
Money laundering is
essentially
what it is. Okay.
And now all these groups are coming out, as you have it, we need regulation, the big thing there. And that's going to be the push. And, come on, it's the conspiracy minds start to flow. You've set everything up, put it in motion. And this loser, I mean, I never used FTX at all. I keep stuff in a cold wallet, so it's cold storage. But
so essentially now this is the, oh no, we fucked everybody, so we have to overregulate it now. Crypto though that's the obvious push, right? Like I mean, you have Reed can even probably talk about it. Library suit that just happened. You have XRP, Ripple that's kind of coming along. There's some differences in those two. Very bad and disturbing outcome in Library. Just basically saying that they are pushing securities. So that their little coin, LBRY or whatever it was a security. And since it was a security, they have to, go through all these different machinations and whatever. So that one is bad because it could be anybody almost giving anything is considered a security now. I mean, it was way too broad. Right. So, okay. Because I was a little confused about the, I call it library, but it's not LBRY, the LBRY crypto thing, right? So they're saying that like any crypto is a security now. Is that what that thing said with the LBRY case?
Well, not any. I mean, that's almost the implication. Now, there's differences, which are you have these are in certain federal districts, and those districts, when they make a ruling, they don't have to abide by a parallel ruling or one in the same. Like Ninth Circuit doesn't have to abide by the Seventh and all these other ones. So this was up in the Third, I think, up there by Reed. And so the one where XRP is, it's in a different one. This guy was so old. That made the decision for the LBRY one, my understanding of it. He didn't really understand, this is crazy stuff we're doing. So it's, grandpa not really understanding technology was part of the problem.
Okay.
Did I answer that?
Yes.
So the answer is...
It gets confusing, yeah.
Just because they did that there doesn't mean it's precedent for XRP or Ethereum or these other ones in other areas.
Because that was my question. Why not Bitcoin or something like that is under the same...
Well, so here's the difference, and this is kind of where XRP goes. XRP is this Ripple. They have this bank transition system that's throughout, and then they have their own coin, okay, their own shit coin, what you would have it. Similar to Library, it's on the blockchain. They've got their system, and they have their little coins. Bitcoin is just Bitcoin. It's not like we have a Bitcoin something, and then here's a coin you play on our website type of thing. So that's not what that is. So Bitcoin, I don't think is necessarily. I mean, who are you going to sue? Who are you going to sue for Bitcoin as far as that goes? Now, does it mean that they're not going to still regulate you for if you buy stuff right now? These exchanges, they're going to send you some sort of a tax form at the end of the year. So that is there somewhat of a regulation as far as the tax part goes, but they can't really regulate the decentralized system. And Ben's who is it? The guy that goes on Dave's show, Swan. I mean, he was talking about this right now. Once again, cold wallet, cold storage, do all these different things. Bitcoin is kind of inoculated in a sense from this stuff.
Okay, so because there's no company of Bitcoin, essentially, there's no one they could go after. Is that the only reason, though? Or
yeah,
like,
so,
what are they going to do to Bitcoin? Because you're going to do something, right? So what's the get around to that? That's my.
I don't know, and I would not be the person to talk about that. The way they're going to do any of this is, how are you getting Bitcoin if you're not mining it yourself? You're getting it from some sort of an exchange.
Okay.
Coinbase, Uphold, FTX, before that kind of thing. That's where you're getting it. They're going to try to regulate through that system, if whatever they can do. So
what oh my God, what's this guy's name? The SBF is already called, right? Sam.
Yeah,
it's like something
Bankman
banker.
Fried.
Yeah, Bankman. Yeah,
banker. Something banker.
Yeah.
What were they saying he fucked up on then? Like what are the actual criticisms of this guy? It's like he knew it was a Ponzi scheme the whole time. Obviously, like we know that, right? It's pretty much what it was.
Yeah. So think of your bank. You put in your deposit in your money in the bank. Typically, there's some sort of agreement with that bank to then loan out money, for loans or whatnot, and they have to have, He was doing that in a sense, and then leveraging and then giving money away. So on the books, it looked like they had it, and I think I'm trying to remember the other firm that was Binance. Maybe the guy, he said, "Oh, maybe I'll help you out," and he just looked behind in their books. And he's like, what a shit show. And that's kind of what blew this whole thing up. So they were way over leveraged. They didn't have the funds to take care of it. And then part of it was in their little shit coin that they had. So that when that news came out, their coin basically drops. And now they don't have that value that they're leveraging in a sense. I could be way off. This is just my understanding of all this.
That's kind of what I've been putting together myself. But it is a lot.
Yeah,
it is a fucking lot. Oh, they also had like all these. They had like Tom Brady behind this, like Shaq. I heard Larry David's getting sued from his participation in the commercial, that Super Bowl commercial. Remember that he was like on the wrong side of history the whole time, and they were like, "Buy FTX." He's getting sued for that.
Good.
As a lawyer, how does that work? Can you get sued for that as a spokesperson for something?
I don't believe so. I mean, there's probably some sort of. No, probably not. You'd have to have some sort of. They would have to be in on it. Like, hey, here's our fraud. Now can you go and? Yeah, that's tough for that.
So what do we think, boys? Is a big nothing burgers gonna come out of this? Besides, we all get fucked again, and he gets away with it scot free. Is that what's gonna happen?
I mean, Reed can probably talk about the what's going to happen, which is you have the private a possibility of the Dave said this today. I'm sorry, I'm stealing this. Possibility of the private gains, that you can have with your investments, but the security of socialized, public backing. So in other words, you can maybe get the regulation is really what these people want. They want to be able to put their money in, get a big win, but then soft landing if something goes wrong. And that just doesn't work. That's not how the market works. You need for things to work out, you need to have the possibility of a complete shit show going and you losing all your money so that you don't just throw it into everything. You take a little bit better time to do an investment. And unfortunately, that's going to go away, I think. So.
All right. So, Reed, do you know if they're going to do anything with what's next step for the LBRY guys? Like, do you know what they plan on doing?
I don't know nearly enough about that. I should have been paying attention, but I honestly can't speak on it with any authority.
It's fucking a lot, dude. It gets to be a lot. It gets confusing. It's all these FEC or rules and regulations and shit like that. Like, I don't understand a lot of it, and a lot of it I feel like is language is done that way on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
For dummies.
What I think is funny is with this. With this whole thing is the money laundering through Ukraine, to go back to the Democratic Party. All these Republicans who were advocating for aid to Ukraine, they were just fucking themselves over. It's just absolutely hilarious. Like the guy we had in New Hampshire, Don Baldock, who was all about like going all in on Ukraine and everything. And that was the thing that like none of the new Republicans on the scene were willing to commit to, was like, no more money to Ukraine. I mean, it was everything they could do to pull Blake Masters' teeth and barely be like, we probably shouldn't have, done this or that. But none of them were just going to be like, fuck Ukraine. There were some incumbents like Marjorie Taylor Greene or Thomas Massey or Rand Paul or whatever, but none of the new ones coming along would do that, and fucked them over in the long run.
Hey Reed, how did you feel about Balsack or whatever his name was up there?
Ball Dick.
Being a general and yet being such a pussy when someone almost touched, he pulled the Nick Sarwark. I mean, I was like, this is the kind of guy we have in the military. I mean, come on now.
Yeah. Did you see Scott Horton's tweet? It was like, no wonder we lost the war in Afghanistan.
No.
Yeah, dude, that's what a fucking piece of shit that guy is. He gets trying to get the guy arrested because he walked over to him.
Yeah. No, it was crazy.
That was crazy, man.
Dude, I hate fucking dumb Republicans who just feel like you owe them their vote. And then like liberty Republicans who fucking defend they defend these people at all costs. So like,
yes,
I mean, if you're a liberty Republican and you're like, yeah, the Republicans suck, this is just how I have to run, whatever. Like, I don't know, that's cool. But when you're just lying about who these people are and be like, yeah, the Republicans are awesome, and this guy is a non-interventionist, it's like, just, I don't know, you lose all credibility in my mind. And all the people that fucking went to bat for him are like, we got to vote for Don Baldock. And then he just got blown out of the water by like 10 points in the election. I was just like, well, that was really fucking worth it, wasn't it? But I don't know. It was all aggravating.
No, you're right. All these people on the right, what's his face? Jack Posobiec. Jack Pussyface. Yeah, he's the guy who's like, Poland was struck for missiles and they need to be returned in blood. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. You ain't doing shit. But
and then he tried to act like he's like, I said if, and it's like, okay, if that happens, go grab a rifle and go fight, buddy.
Exactly. Dude.
He's the worst.
But again, I think someone said it in that thread where they're like, this guy will tweet out Ron Paul was right all the time, and then turn around and be like, we should go fight Russia though right now because the thing I care about got touched because Poland got touched, and someone's like, he's Polish, and I'm like, no, he's American. Actually, well, dude,
that's
the Polish
background.
Who gives a
thing
fuck?
With these fucking Republicans is they act like so many people are saying, well, they've really learned their lesson and they're really different now. See, they'll like say nice things about Ron Paul, and it's like, okay, they'll say nice things about Ron Paul and they'll be like, yeah, the Iraq war was a mistake, but we really actually should go to war with Iran, and we actually should be raising tensions with China. Like this whole thing with Russia, but China, let's go to war with China instead. So I don't know. I don't really give people the time of day who are like that. It's just like, I mean, they're still the same Republicans they've always been. They don't like George Bush anymore, but they still, it's not good. I mean, what good is it being against a war that started 20 years ago? Like, if you're not against the ones that are starting right now, I don't really see what good you are, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say, dude, you just said it. You're not taking a brave stance by saying that this corrupt war from 25 years ago is wrong. It's like, yeah, man, it's been 25 years of that. Like it's not ballsy to say that anymore. It's like coming out and be like, hey guys, you know what? Rape's bad. It's like, yeah. What else you gotta say? It's like it's a nothing.
I'm gonna post the opposite in Reed's Telegram about rape and see how this works for him.
We should just start a controversy in there. We should say like the most fucked up shit. Like start like, did you know that so and so did this, and just like get a thing going, and because hopefully that whoever that fucking rat is still in there, and they'll just be like, oh.
There was someone that posted under Andy's, his baby mama died. It's a really sad story. By the way, so you can still go to the GoFundMe and help out.
Please do.
But someone, some lefty libertarian was like, "Oh, she deserved it. That she's
Jesus Christ,
just being horrible." And I'm like, we should screenshot this and say that this is their Dave Smith. I mean, that's push it back on them and just. But then I blocked him, and so I.
But like Tyler, the thing is like that doesn't work because they're so fucking delusional. Like they have all the reasons why it's okay when they say that shit.
Yeah,
but if we make a joke or like Reed fucking makes a joke on whatever account he's in control of right now, like it's just the
might have been his.
It's just like, no, you guys are serious though. It's like we're not at all ever. Like it's very very one. So that doesn't work. That text doesn't clear. It just doesn't work, unfortunately. But
back to the Republicans, I would just say, as someone who had been with them and now I'm not. Part of it is seeing exactly what's happening here, which is they don't follow a principled line. It's what is your party telling you? So now we're against you. When was the Baltic war, when Clinton was bombing, a medicine factory and some other ones, we're against that, but then we're for these others. So you don't know and that's what you're seeing now. So it's wishy-washy because Biden's in charge. So, certain things are bad. And I mean, if Trump was in charge right now, we would probably be in the exact same situation over there in Ukraine, doing the exact same thing. And they would all be gung-ho and the left would be against it. So,
of course. Yeah, no, you said it. But like, what about, okay, Trump's running again, right? Like let's go. Let's go. So that's going to be a wild sight to see.
I don't know. I saw his fucking speech was super underwhelming. I was kind of excited and I went and watched it and I was like, wow, this is like a Jeb Bush. I mean, even Jeb Bush on Twitter said that was low energy, which I thought was actually kind of funny.
Yeah, coming from him. Yeah. But I'm sick again. Like we're talking about all these Republicans who are, who've been saying like, "Oh, I'm anti-establishment," but then they're all just falling in line with defending Trump constantly. Well, he had to put us in lockdowns. He had to keep Fauci on board. It's like, I think he's the one guy who didn't have to. I think he was in charge of that, of saying that. So it's like it's just going to be all that again, and then you're going to have again the left. I bet you the left now will make the lockdowns his fault. That's going to be the thing. They're gonna push all that shit on him. Like any bad COVID thing is going to be it's Trump's fault. It was when Trump was president. So
maybe back in, like you said, the Republicans now thinking back to the 2000, maybe in 20 years. I mean, I just saw. LA County, a city has they're going to do a mask mandate indoors again. So they're still all over that stuff. Around
LA
here.
or all California?
Oh no, LA.
Okay.
Yeah. We're still in an emergency here until February 27th. I think he announced it several months ago because that's the day he can pick. It's just it's so stupid. I still think they're on the bandwagon. I still see people kind of around here losing their minds with it. So. I don't think they're going to do what you suggest.
You don't think so?
Blame Trump for this? No.
Yeah, because all right, fair, I guess. So who's his DeSantis is obviously his big Republican opponent, right?
Yeah,
the sanctimonious.
The sanctimonious, yeah. So who do you think takes it? Trump or fucking DeSantis in the primaries? Let's say against those two.
Dude, I was so wrong about the midterms. I don't want to make guesses anymore. Like I was way off. I would take Trump over DeSantis. I've been going pretty hard on this. I think DeSantis is like the worst president we could have. He could be worse than George W. Bush. Like he is so bad. I mean, his military, he's got military experience. He was in Guantanamo Bay. He's got a congressional voting record that everyone can go look at. The school he went to, just everything about him is 100% establishment, all of it. And the only thing is like he took a stand against COVID like several months after, or I don't know about it, but he locked the state down for like 2 months, but then he didn't take a strong stance against everything until almost a year later. Like it was like early 2021 when he started getting notoriety for, opposing Biden and opposing the lockdowns or whatever. And I was saying last year that I thought this was very artificial and he was getting tons of press just out of nowhere, even though Kristi Noem had been doing it the entire time.
Right.
And then Kemp actually opened Georgia up sooner than DeSantis did, and like other states like Utah weren't being much different than DeSantis was, but all this spotlight was on DeSantis the whole time. And I said last summer, I was like, this guy's going to run for president. They're priming this guy to be the Republican dude. And now on Twitter, you see all these neocon goons lining up behind DeSantis. They're all like, oh, Trump, we can't have Trump. Trump's already like, he's kind of had his shot and we need to go with DeSantis. And I don't know, like it's very, I mean, I don't like Trump at all, but Trump at least is like a 1/100th of a renegade, like there's that like little sliver of him that super occasionally would be like, actually, I don't think we should do this, or like, I think I'm going to veto this. And then they'd be like, no. They'd always talk him out of it for the most part. But DeSantis, you don't even have to talk him into anything. He's already like 100% full bore for whatever the establishment wants. So, and then on top of that, Biden is at least a decrepit, mentally deficient pedophile that everybody hates and can easily see through. Where DeSantis is like a younger, kind of charismatic, well-spoken military dude who's been a governor that's made tons of news and everything by opposing lockdowns. And I mean, he's a neocon wet dream. So I think they want him, and they'd rather not have Trump.
Well, yeah, it sounds everybody that read Coverdale. Hector Roos's campaign manager.
See, the thing is, like, if he's governor of Florida, I mean, first of all, that has no effect over me, so I don't really care. But also, being a governor is very different than being a president. Like the amount of difference you can make in the federal government, and like how much power you have over the military, and
I would say if you look back, governors have done well as far as up until recently for national election for the presidency. They've become senators too, but it's more of a logical, at least people in their minds when they used to care about these kind of things, logical step of you're governing a state, now you're governing the nation, rather than I'm just voting on random shit as a senator. I don't doubt what you're saying. I think part of it is like, I was just thinking, Trump is going through all this. Why would you put yourself back into this situation? I think he's made so many stumbling problems, but leaving, even the documents, whatever it is, it didn't have to be this way. He is target number one. It's like I have clients that are kind of working through, and they're in a problematic situation with custody, and I'm like, you're on probation. You got to be super careful. That's what he was like here, and he just didn't give a shit. But he's going to throw himself back into the mix, and I think a lot of people are tired of the baggage. They also would like someone who can, put their best foot forward for once. It's like, okay, it was fun. Yeah. The clown show was great. I'm from a Republican standpoint. And then you have all those never Trumpers, and they're just, jizzing in their pants to get someone competent that's not Trump, I think. So there you go. But I don't know who's going to win.
I think you're right. Like, it's a great excuse to tell everybody, like, look, we can't run this guy because he's such a fucking mess. And it's also not untrue either. Like, he is a mess. I mean,
right.
He's really bad at shooting himself in the foot. Yeah, he's old. Like,
was he 78?
Yeah, I think he's 78.
That's old, man.
Just because he looks better than Biden, I mean, you wait another 2 years. I even think I could see like a little difference just him now than when he finished on Melania. And so you gotta admit, I don't think there's been a hotter.
It's not even close. Hey, I got time.
Although I haven't seen Kamala's husband.
So, something Eric Jackman brought my attention to something. I'll share the screen here. I don't know where this poll came from, but Clint actually made this point a couple weeks ago. He was like, if Ron and Dawn go at each other's throats and destroy each other, maybe a phoenix will rise from the ashes. And I was thinking like, oh, that's going to be some person like Liz Cheney or something. But Clinton was actually saying this. And I was like, nah, no way. It's like too early. But I don't know. I don't know where this poll is. I asked Eric to send me the actual poll, and I don't know.
I mean, that would be a real heel turn from Tulsi, right? For her own side. She's like,
but look at who she was endorsing for the elections. She was throwing them out like Oprah doing handbags for the audience. You get one, you get everybody. So it was impressive, and I might set her up for that kind of thing. I mean, we look at the presidential elections and you go so far out, and it's like Trump. Now Trump is the obvious person, right? But so many times the big person has been knocked off. I mean, Giuliani. I mean, we go down the list. I can't go down the list more than that. Jeb Bush. I mean, whoever.
Rand Paul. Remember when they thought Rand Paul was going to be the nominee in like late 2015 or late 2014?
Dude, I will say Trump was very good. Again, it's the Shane Gillis bit, but like just shitting on, destroying people in the fucking debates, and it's like that makes a difference in people's minds. It's like if you're up there with five other dudes and some old guys like, you're ugly, you're fucking stupid, and you had nothing to come back to, but people are like, this guy can't lead us. I'm gonna go with that guy who's trashing him. It's like, it's very fucking mental thing.
He was great with a bunch of them when they're kind of sniping, and then he would like a bunch of wolves over there picking at each other, and then he can like throw a bomb at him. But when it was just he and Biden, I mean, the guy is mentally, not there, and he didn't clean his clock.
I agree.
Hillary, he did a little bit with the "I'll put you in jail," but other than that, I wasn't super impressed.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, he's not a good one-on-one roast battler, but he's good with the group.
Right.
The best debate moment of all time is when Hillary Clinton said, "It's a good thing that Donald Trump isn't in control of law enforcement in this country." And he's like, "Yeah, because you'd be in jail."
Yeah, that was hilarious. Really
so funny.
Yeah, he throws out the bombs, that's for sure.
Yeah, but he's lost it, dude. He couldn't even take on fucking Joe Biden. Like, I don't care what people say.
Exactly.
That debate performance against Joe Biden was so pitiful. It was just like we were wondering if Joe Biden was going to like be able to debate or if he was going to be wearing pants when he showed up. Like, it's just like, what's going to happen? And then Trump just kept hanging himself. It's just like, dude, what are you doing? Like, let the guy talk and he'll fucking fall apart. But it was just like interrupting him every other word. It's like, dude, it didn't come across as strong anymore. It just came across as weak and pathetic and petty. And I don't know. Like,
I totally agree with you. I was expecting him to just teabag Biden on the fucking debate stage, and it just was not the case. It was very, especially like as a comic, I'm like, here we go. Come on, I want to see some shit. And then it was just lackluster. And I think that definitely made a lot of people go, oh, I don't think he had what he had in 2016.
Dude, it's so funny. 2016, like Marco Rubio would be like, Donald Trump doesn't know what the nuclear triad is. That's our missile system from, air, ground, and submarines. Yeah. And then Trump's just like, you're stupid. Your face looks funny,
exactly.
Like, and it's just.
He's like, yeah, I'm not a nerd.
Yeah,
well, we getting pussy.
We weren't used to that. I mean, that had not happened. The closest you might have come was Chris Christie with, trying to throw some barbs out there, but he wasn't biting like personal like that. And he could do those kind of things. So you just didn't have that kind of, and when they land, right? They're not falling flat. He just had a different charismatic ability to him. I personally would thinking of that, right? And then you have, let's say, Biden, and this is Tyler's wet dream, fever dream, which is Dave Smith is in there with them, and Trump is going at him. Now, Dave has the ability to just for the fun of the show, which he has the comedic ability to come back and roast, along with all the policy. I think that would be an interesting exchange.
Oh yeah, having a professional comedian up there would definitely make things easier. But like your point, you said Chris Christie was like making like shots and stuff like that. That reminds me of a lot of, they were just trying to copy what was working, but it's not genuine, right?
Yeah.
Like when Dane Cook first came on the comedy scene, all the young comics would try to just do Dane Cook like shit, like his mannerisms, thinking that's what made his success, but it's not, because it's genuinely, that's how he is, right? It's a lot of copycat shit that I think just doesn't work.
Yeah.
That's the case, and he's always going to be able to do that. I mean,
don't you think DeSantis is a bit of a copycat of Trump? Like, he does the hands and the like all the same hand gestures and a lot of the same mannerisms and same speech pattern, even although with less like fucking schizophrenia and side trails, but
100% to a degree. Yeah, he's a lower. Yeah. Again, I think these guys are seeing what works, and then DeSantis is like, well, I can't do all that. But I could do like some stuff. I could do the mannerisms. I could do the fucking goofy shit. I could kind of take shots, but you can't go full Trump. It won't work.
Just look, DeSantis is more impressive, right? If you're just kind of like backing up and you're like, okay, I'm going to leave. I've got a bunch of money. I'm going to leave it in the hands of one of these guys, and they just talk to him. You don't know who they are. You're probably not going to give it to Trump because he seems a little fucking crazy. And DeSantis seems like he might take care of you a little bit better.
But he's worth $9 billion, believe me.
Okay, well, you've sold me. I'll Venmo you some money.
Yeah.
Who do you
just
think?
Just not more than 600 because we'll have to get it.
Yeah, I don't want the IRS shooting me in my front door with their crack fucking special response team they have.
Is that what they're doing
wheelchair.
Now? Yeah. The guy in the wheelchair, the gay dude, and the chick. I could, even if I didn't know how to fight, I could solo all of them without even trying. I could fuck all those people up. So who do you think the left runs? Kamala? Newsom?
Biden.
Yeah.
Really?
I didn't. Yeah. At this point, like, why not? I mean, it didn't make sense 2 years ago, but why would it make any less sense?
There'll be a random Latino mayor from some town, another gay guy from some other town, like a city manager or something like that. Kamala will come out there and do her cackle thing. She won't get halfway through like did before. I mean, they chose a white man over her last time, so I don't know. I mean, Biden, if he wants it, right? I mean, he kind of didn't. He didn't.
Dude,
lose
they can't.
I know he's going to be sold though.
They can't run Kamala. Like, I mean, even if Biden's dead, he'll be a better candidate than Kamala. Like, I mean, she is
maybe Fetterman.
So,
nice.
Fetterman, Kamala, dude, that would be everything.
Right.
2024. Let's go. I'll vote for that.
Yeah, dude, I would probably unironically vote for that because it would just be so funny.
Right.
I'd be like, all right, fuck it, we're going full acceleration this year.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Push
I mean, if I
quicker.
lived in your state, you live in Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally would have voted for Fetterman. Did you vote for Fetterman or?
I just left it.
Oh, dude,
I just
dude,
let
you
it go.
should have taken that. I'm not even joking. I would have voted for him.
No,
over
I
Oz,
voted
like-
for our guy because I know
okay.
Eric.
I'm sure he's a great guy, but it wouldn't have stolen my vote for Fetterman. Like Fetterman's just, I just have to go that way.
I'll be
You've
honest
got
with
his
you.
gear on. You're wearing a hoodie. I mean, that's his outright
Drop
support.
hoodie, how dare you? No, I'll be honest with you. I was sitting there. I was like, it would be funny. But I was like, I personally know Eric. He's a good guy. I had to go with my guy, but it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Oz is dog shit. Like that's how bad Pennsylvania was. You ran again a fucking Frankenstein's monster and a TV snake
lost.
oil salesman, and like he lost.
All right. Well, so what is up? Why did Eric not have like 20% of the vote? Because Jesus Christ,
he got the most votes ever for a Libertarian candidate, I think, in like the Senate race. He got like 77,000 votes.
Okay, still, but I mean, look at his two fucking mongoloids he's running against. Like,
Because Eric didn't campaign as much as he should have. I have no fucking idea. I don't know.
Okay.
I had zero behind the scenes help with any of that. They were like, "You want to help?" I was like, "No." I don't have the time for this. But
I mean, we didn't.
I don't
We
want
got
people to think I'm not going to vote for Fetterman, and if I come out personally, sorry.
I mean,
sorry,
we
Reed,
only got 2% of the vote, but we didn't have a fucking fake doctor and a fake person running against each other.
No,
so it's just a little bit different.
fake person.
I stole that from Justin O'Donnell. He came up with that.
I liked it. It was funny. Yeah, no, it was bad. And then, I don't understand how we. But again, because Trump fucking supported Oz. That's why. That's how he got the fucking whole thing. Because Trump was like, this guy, and the Republican Party in Pennsylvania was like,
He's seen
this
him
guy
on
is.
TV. I mean,
Yeah, this guy's been on
Such a
TV.
fucking retard, dude. Trump is so dumb.
so
Like-
there's two things on the Pennsylvania Fetterman Oz thing, right?
Yeah.
With the Oz, which is you go. I mean, I can't believe that the Republicans would run this, and then that's bad. And then the other part is just like, okay, but the other side is deciding to vote for Fetterman. So I don't even know how to put this into context. You blame the Republicans for running Oz, but then, I mean, the other party is still willing to vote for Fetterman. So I don't even know if you ran Jesus, if they would pick him. So it's crazy.
It's pretty wild. But also, if you look at the state of Pennsylvania, it's all red except for two cities, which is Pittsburgh and Philly.
Yeah.
And he won pretty easily. So I don't know.
So I heard, like, I don't know if this is true, but I heard that like 50% of the votes for Fetterman were cast before the debate.
Yes.
Is that true?
I think it is true. I believe.
Just say it is.
No, I believe it is. No, I believe.
Yeah, let's just go with it. It's like
votes before
70.
Yeah,
fuck it, 100.
100%. Yeah.
100% of the votes over pre-election day.
Yeah.
It is wild how like a lot of these.
Wait, can we question the 2022 election? Is that all right? Like, can we?
I think
is
so.
that one's not off limits yet?
I think
right?
it's okay. Yeah,
we
I
can
think
talk
it's okay.
about the 2018 elections, the 2022 elections, the 2016 elections, and the 2024 ones. If we could speculate, but just there's one. We can talk about the primaries in 2020. That's all right, but there's just one.
How dare you?
Election.
How
that we
dare
just
you
gotta
speak
keep
about
up.
that?
What
like
did you guys
Voldemort.
think of Carrie Lake? So I saw her on Malice's show, and she immediately gave me this patriot, which I mean in a pejorative way, patriot vibe. You see, I'm a patriot on Twitter. These broads. It kind of just made me and I'll tell you a little bit later. By the way, I have Josh's mug here, and the fucker didn't show up. So
Didn't
Jesus
show up.
Christ, Josh.
What a piece of shit.
no, so I wasn't really, and it seems like all these people could have just started really even because no one remembers what you did. Run on the COVID thing. I mean, I think that's why DeSantis won so big. Is you're right, Reed. He wasn't the best on it, but there was so much focus. Gavin Newsom, everyone, the left pushed a lot of focus on him. And what did he do when he started to get more focus? He's like, fine, and he starts repealing all these things. So. Yep. he did the right thing, which is they're trying to shame him into locking himself back up, and he said, "Fuck it, I'm going the freeway."
Yeah,
and he did. And if all these other ones would have maybe done that too, it might have helped.
Did you see that Project Veritas video about what was Carrie Lake was going against Hobbs, right? Katie Hobbs or something.
Katie
like that?
Hobbs, yeah.
Her twin
of her
sister,
at the
it was her twin sister.
Okay.
Sister.
I didn't even know that. That makes
her
more
twin
sense.
sister was that would be so funny if it was her just openly giving away the worst secrets of her campaign. No, so her twin sister was again under hidden camera, and she was just like, so the left will funnel money into who they think are like the far right candidates.
Yeah.
And put them to the front because they think they're more easily beatable.
The Pied Piper strategy. I didn't think it was going to work because that's kind of what they did with Trump. Like they're like, Trump will not beat Hillary, no way. And then he did,
Well, did
he? Ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
I mean,
Yeah,
dude,
sure.
this whole election,
that stopped you, didn't it?
the election denier thing is so funny because I got one of my uncles. He's super liberal, and I was talking to him a couple months ago, and he's like, "There's just no comparison to anything like the big lie," meaning the 2020 election stealing claims. And he's like, just nothing in history has ever been this perpetuated as far as election stuff goes. I was like, dude, that's not true. What about the 2000 election with Bush Gore? Yeah. And
that's not a gay porn movie we're talking about.
there were a bunch of Democrat Congress representatives who did not want to certify the votes. It was the exact same thing that happened in 2020. And I guess you need a senator to reach across the aisle and say, I'm not going to vote for this either. And in both cases, in 2020 and in 2000, no senators came forward to do it. They all just certified everything. And then there were a bunch of congressmen who were like, this is an illegitimate election. He's not a legitimate president. And there are people who, I don't fucking know who won the 2000 election. That was even closer. It was down to fucking just Florida, just like it wasn't.
State,
and then I said in 2016, Hillary Clinton, initially conceded to Trump, but then later on it was, the Russians stole it and threw it to him. And then, what's her face down in Georgia?
Abrams.
Stacey Abrams. She says that she didn't lose the 2018 election. So, it's not like this is a phenomenon with 2020. Like it happens on both sides whenever they lose. So,
and by the way, I'm tired. I don't understand the appropriation of the big lie. I mean, when I was younger, it was, I love you, checks in the mail, I won't come in your mouth. Those are the three big lies. And now they've added the election, which is deplorable. It's
I like
right.
That was good. I think you're the stand-up comedian in here, Tyler.
I'll put my name back to Figs to help you. There was a question. Oh, Ukraine. So did Ukraine hack this last election then? I mean, can we say that? Because they were dumping all this money back into FTX, who was then putting it back into all these elections and all these senators and congressmen around. So, I mean, we could say that.
Yeah,
right?
I think we could start saying Ukraine through the election, Ukrainian interference.
There you go.
Well, it is like that again. Like Tyler, you're saying about trying to get people to understand things. It's like, forget all the corruption aside, like that's clearly going on. The average person, if again, I'm in the comedy world, it's a lot of fucking dumb people I follow are fucking dumb lefties, and their memes are truly terrible. But I saw a meme today, and it was like a MAGA guy holding like a phone, being like, "Look, it's Hunter Biden's is having sex with more adult females. Shouldn't you guys care about this? Vote for our guy." And I'm like, that is the most dumb, basic bitch take on the Hunter Biden thing. Like, it's not what it's about. It's not him fucking prostitutes. It's about they had a whole backdoor deal with Ukraine, you fucking idiot. But like, if you say that, they go, no, that's Russian propaganda or whatever the fuck it is. And there's no getting to these people. That's the fucking issue.
Part of that is the MAGA patriot types that push that as the big issue, right? And even some of the woke stuff, they've misunderstood.
Did you already see this? This is who's through the election. This is where the country that interfered in our elections.
Yes.
You're right.
Please welcome Senate Democratic Leader,
the Senate Republican Leader.
Please welcome Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives.
Please welcome Secretary of State.
I'm honored to introduce the Vice President of the United States.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
Please welcome back to the apex stage the Prime Minister of Israel.
From day one, Israel found itself in a unique alliance.
The alliance between Israel and the United States of America.
In the United States, our support for Israel is bipartisan, and that is how it should stay.
Our strategic ally, our unbreakable friendship.
America is safer when we stand with Israel.
Because if you care about American security, you must care about Israel's security.
My friends,
America and Israel
need you more today
than ever before.
Oh may God bless Israel.
And may God bless the United States of America.
Thank you.
So that's not a hit piece. That is an APAC video. That's the funny thing. Is like,
oh, that's their actual video.
Oh,
that
yeah, dude.
like
No,
a
that's
Nicky Walnuts cut.
That's 100% their video.
That's just showing their globalism almost. It's almost showing that we're rigging shit, guys. We're gonna put it out. But that's also kind of how in our face it is nowadays. Like that.
It's been, by the way, it's been. If you go back to 2000 when you two were younger, Carville, a bunch of these people were going. They would always go to Israel. They would help campaign and like work with the whoever's Netanyahu. It was against Netanyahu, I think at the time, and Ariel Sharon, whoever was the lefty on the time, and they were embedded helping them with the elections. That's just the outward side. There's more going on, behind the scenes too. So it's been forever.
Yeah, when you also, if you ask the average person, like, hey, like how Israel became like a modern country, no one knows. Like, no one knows like they were always there. Like, no,
not
they
as
weren't
a modern
always
country.
there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, like since
Yeah.
the 40s. I mean, like
Yeah.
it's like we just push people out of the way for them, and we just did it. We do whatever the fuck they want. It's crazy.
By the way, I didn't know that, and then I read these books. You ever, The Chosen? It's Chaim Potok. He's a Jewish writer. The Chosen and Asher Lev, and it's during that time period. Hasidic Jews in New York. Good stories, by the way. Read. I especially said you should watch it. No, but they talk in there all the time about where are they going to put the Jews? They're displaced, and I didn't even realize. I'm reading these things in college, and I'm like, oh. It's in the 40s, which for me wasn't all that long ago. That this is being done. It's it kind of throws you for a loop.
Yeah, because I believe they were offered like a piece of land in Africa, like the
Madagascar.
Yeah, right.
One of the places they were thinking of,
and they were like, "No, we want to go to the most controversial part of the world."
They wanted back to their homeland.
Yeah, but it could have been avoided all this shit. But obviously,
I think we should have
we
should have given them Utah instead of giving it to the Mormons. Just give the Jews Utah.
Who's got a joke? Some comedian has a joke about putting them up in Canada.
That was Dave, wasn't it?
Was that Dave?
I think it was Dave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you're right. In Libertas, maybe.
Yeah.
Why Canada?
You don't listen to it. It's pretty.
I don't remember that. I watched this thing. I don't remember that bit.
Part of it is because there's going to be no Palestinian conflict. He's like,
well, yeah.
You think the Canadians are like, oh, it's so nice, and they're not going to have a problem with it.
Yeah, Nakba in fucking Quebec City, and bulldoze all the houses.
Right.
Like, what are you doing? Like, shut up, French bitch.
Oh, sorry.
Get the fuck out of here, you pussy. Yeah, man, it's wild, dude. And like I was saying off air too. It's going back to the shadiness of everything around us. The New York Times is having Zelensky, the FTX guy, Yellen, and the BlackRock guy all having a speech, and I think they're charging $2,500 a ticket for a speech of just how to be evil and rule the world. Yeah. It's like an evil villain, mad scientist.
Sounds pretty anti-Semitic, Adam.
It's really about access. I mean, I imagine if you pay that money and you go there, you get, some sort of
I'm
handshake
sure
or something.
Yeah, I'm sure. But it's like, but they didn't pull it. I don't think they pulled that guy from the speech yet, even though did he testify to Congress recently?
With that hair? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, he's been on Twitter still, saying he's sorry.
He's tweeting out like cryptic, weird shit. He was like towering himself.
Yeah.
he was like, what the fuck is he doing? What do you think about the Polish missile shit? I think that was
I think
100%
this
legit.
means that
And when I mean legit, I mean Ukraine hit him, or it was like
well, I think this
accident?
triggers an Article 5, and we need to fucking go to war with Ukraine.
Yeah,
I think so too.
You know, I mean, I wasn't expecting to rise at peace with Russia this way, but you know, fuck it. Like, if we just join Russia and just stomping Ukraine, like, I guess I'm all right with that.
It is kind of funny how like the first reports everyone got on their. I got it on my phone. Like, you know, like Russia strikes Poland with missiles, kills 2 people, and Russia was like,
phone.
What?
How'd you get it on your phone? What do you mean you got it on your phone?
Like the news notifications.
Oh, okay.
Like from like ABC News and shit like that, being like Russia strikes.
You're one of those guys.
Yeah, Jack Posobiec must have that too.
I'm one of those
like,
guys
we must repay this with blood, you know.
Yeah. By the way, someone's Connor McGovern. Rob Ford was the greatest.
Yeah,
hands down. That is. If you guys don't know about him and his heroin laced whatever it was.
That dude was awesome. Days. He was the giant fat guy who did crack openly. That guy was pretty cool.
Think of Chris Christie on a diabetic coma high. That's what you got.
And I'm trying to guys off.
Yeah, the Nazis are used to trying to take out Poland, though. You know, so I mean, I guess when they fired their missiles,
it was just in their DNA. Like, sorry, it just is in us. It's ingrained in us. Sorry.
When my wife told me about it, that's how I got it on my phone as well, Adam. Because our neighbor, they're from Poland, and she's over there right now visiting her dad. So she's like, oh shit, and my first reaction was, it wasn't Russia. I was literally thinking it was an accidental thing or something, and it almost makes me wonder, especially when Zelensky and all these guys come out, if they, not on purpose, but they intentionally tried to mislead everybody to get more sympathy, or maybe they did it, and then even the U.S. Warhawks are like, whoa,
easy,
maybe not even this. Well, Tyler's wife is his iPhone. Fuck you, garbage man.
It is kind of funny how Russia right away came out with like, that wasn't even us, and everyone's like, shut up, you fucking liars. And then it's like,
totally was you. Yeah, I mean, my initial thought was like, if this was Russia, it was definitely an accident, because why take out like 2 people in a barn out in the middle of nowhere? Like, oh boy, we showed them, let's go to war. You know, like obviously they'd hit some sort of fucking military base or something, and.
But when your army is so depleted, and you're using like teenage criminals that are just off the street, you know, and to literally to do your dirty work at this point, both sides I think are kind of in that situation. You're going to have a lot of this incompetence, and then you've got, you know. So I that's what I was first thinking. I mean, I heard today that it was like a U.S. This is all hearsay, fifth hand, like a U.S. missile that they tried to appropriate for some sort of defense, which was not supposed to be used for that.
Wait, what? Say that again?
So instead of like a defensive missile, it was like one that was not a defensive missile, but they were trying to use it for that purpose. So.
Oh, and they just shot 2 farmers.
They think they're like sharpshooters.
Yeah.
Dude, what's with Poland being the brink of World War? You know, like they were in World War II, and now they are. I mean, it's always that part of the world, you know. Wasn't Archduke Ferdinand was assassinated in Austria, right?
Austria, yeah.
So it's always like that area of the world. That's where this.
Yeah. Why are all these unimpressive countries starting the biggest shit?
Yeah, you know, everyone talks about like nuking the Middle East and turning it into a plate of glass. Like, we honestly should just do that to fucking Ukraine. You know, like, I mean, can you imagine?
Reed, I want up you, all of Europe.
All of Europe.
It's fucking all of Europe. I'm sick of them.
Dude, like, if I were Joe Biden, I mean, think about it like a better way. Is there a better way to like throw a curveball to your enemy? Be like, oh yeah, Putin, I'm gonna fucking nuke, and then you just nuke Ukraine, and then you go like, oh yeah, Z, and you nuke Taiwan, and then you're like, now what, bitch? Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, what can you hold over us now? By the way, this whole time this has been going on, North Korea's been launching missiles at South Korea and Japan.
Yeah, I know.
Right. This whole time, and no one cares. No one's said a word about it.
Polacks used to be the brunt of all the jokes when I was younger.
They still are,
like the stupid jokes, and then the ones I've met, they're really highly intelligent. Okay, let me just give you a quick story. Neighbor, high level engineer. Okay, He takes care of everything. His wife, who's over in Poland right now, dumb as a box of rocks. She thinks she's smart. She asked my wife the other day, hey, can you take me to the doctor? Because he was gone. So my wife drives over there. And then she's like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to get home. And my wife's like, well, just text me. And she goes, how am I going to text you? And Gina looks at her and she goes, well, use your phone. She's like, this isn't a phone. This only connects to Bluetooth. And it was an iPhone. So I don't know what he's got locked down in his house over there, but that's the situation I have across the street.
No, it's smart. So they can't run away. I get it.
Well, she's in Poland right now. She literally went halfway around the world.
That's wild. I don't know. I like. Do you think this Russia-Ukraine thing goes for another fucking 4 years, or is this like wrapping up soon? Like, where are we on this? Because now, like, I feel like it's gonna end soonish, but I could be way the fuck wrong.
Well, we're drafting what, a $38 billion bill to send them.
Oh, so FTX is coming back.
So much fucking money.
I miss the days of hand-to-hand combat because wars would not necessarily drag on.
I miss the days where like they'd send their leader out and they just fight. I mean, I want Zelensky versus Putin. My bets are totally on Putin, cancer and all. You know,
he's
still
gonna
fight. Yeah, he's
right.
He rides a great white shark. Haven't you seen that fucking meme of him like on the back
of a bear
of it?
into battle? That's pretty cool. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know. I think because every now and then I'll see a report being like, oh, Zelensky's talking about peace now, but then like Reed just said, now we're like sending $30 more billion over there. So.
What he doesn't want peace. He just keeps wanting billions. I mean, he just asked for a bunch, and then he was asking for more. And even I think some Democrats at the time were like, "Easy there, buddy." Yeah. So,
well, why would you stop when Sean Penn's giving you his Oscar?
Okay.
Which if that doesn't, it's like a hat on a hat at this point.
Doesn't
it's
Andy
like,
have one of those?
Here's for my great acting, your great acting. Here you go. It's like it's wild. It really is parody at this point.
Yeah, but you know what? To me, the funny part of that is that Sean Penn thinks that his Oscar is worth so much that someone else is going to enjoy it. I just think they're
gonna melt that down for the fucking gold,
right?
And fucking put it towards more guns.
I'd immediately say eBay. Let's see what we could get for this.
That's a funny move too. Just immediately eBay it, or even funny if Zelensky was like, "Oh,
get it appraised,"
and just throws it. It'd be nothing too.
It's a pile of a bunch of other ones from other Hollywood shit libs. So,
yeah, it is what it is. But we're coming down to an hour now. So
what's with this up? Fucking Cole didn't even show up. What a faggot.
No, he told me he was always going to be 50-50. To be fair.
Oh.
So yeah.
Well, 50-50 for two guys that should have equaled one. You know, but
true. They're both failures. Right. They both let me down.
True.
True. Tyler, where can we find you?
Libertarian Podcast Review. We're going to do the next Kill podcast coming up this next month. Last one was a big one, so hopefully we'll keep it on. Garbage Man, of course, will be with me. If you guys want to go to my Twitter, Tyler Janke, and I think it's pinned. It may be deep in there, but there's a GoFundMe for Andy. Help him get to Tennessee and take his daughter up there. She's already there, so we're looking to help him. And we got quite a bit taken care of already, so I think he'll be able to get a full U-Haul rather than just an open bed pickup. So
yeah, just a bunch of his cousins carrying it back and forth.
Yeah, and the tarp.
Texas and Tennessee. Reed.
Yeah, you can find me in my public Telegram chat on Fakertarians. You can see people get angry at each other in there and say funny stuff. And then Naturalist Capitalist, just YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that shit.
Oh shit! All right, brother bears. This is always fun. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me and talking about fucking
I didn't get
nonsense.
a rage quit.
What?
I didn't get a rage quit on Reed. That was my goal tonight.
Wait, what?
Rage
for the
quit.
atomic bomb, for the nuking joke that I just made about.
Okay, never mind.
I made the nuking joke about Ukraine. That was your opportunity. So.
Sorry. Go ahead, Adam.
No,
finish off like a true host.
It's fine. It's fine. Boys, thank you. Everybody else, thanks for fucking watching as always. We'll be back next week. Again, come see me on the road. I'm doing the Delaware Libertarian show for them this weekend, Friday. Actually, which is technically available, I think, open to people. So if you guys want to come, hit me up. I'll give you the address. It's non-ticketed, so let me know. All right, boys, and everybody else, this has been fun. Peace out.
Thanks for listening. Find Adam on social media, Twitter and IG at Adam Nutter, or Facebook and TikTok at Adam Nutter Comedy. And for podcasts and merch, check out www.droptent.com. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.
This has been a Drop Tent Media production.